Hi there. I'm gonna wait for people to get on. There's nobody on right now, but okay, I'll just wait. I'm wearing my kiwi kimono today. I really love this kimono. I wear it every chance I get. I'm actually dressed for the day, so I don't have much to do besides sewing today. All right, we're starting to get some people on. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the So Sweet Cinnamon Latte sweater. It's a raglan, and I really like it. If you go by your measurements and make the size that your measurements correspond with, it's going to be an oversized sweater or hoodie or whatever you want to call it. But I'm going to show you some things to make it different. We all know about the mods. There's 3 plus the maternity mod. And they're pretty cool. I like them. I love my thumb hole cuffs. I really need to try the thumb hole sleeve, but like I said in the last video, I'm not much on hemming, especially sleeves. They tend to be kind of small for me, and it's kind of hard for me to work with. I do them occasionally when I want that option of a hemmed sleeve and I don't want the cuff. But let's wait a little bit longer to see if anybody comes in. I'm looking at all these options down here. I have no idea what any of these things do. Oh, it looks like you can... I don't know what that is. All right, well, we have a couple of people on, and I just wanted to show you guys some of the fabrics that you can use with this. There are plenty of fabrics, and I'm going to show you probably just a few of them. I mean, well, I have a bunch here, so if you saw my picture from earlier, there's probably about 5 or 6, maybe more. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start with, I hope it's easy to see. This is some black cotton lycra, and I want to show you the stretch on it. If you're familiar with cotton lycra, it is kind of thick. It's not a thin, but it's not thick. It's I use cotton lycra mostly for leggings. I have a few hoodies that I have made with cotton lycra, and I love them. The stretch, this is the horizontal stretch. It stretches pretty good, and vertically, about the same. But like I said, it's going to be it's a little bit thicker fabric. It'll be stiffer on your body. It doesn't drape as much is what I mean. You're going to want, if you're going to use cotton lycra, you're going to want to use the measurements the size that your measurements correspond with. So you don't want to size up or down. This is a great stretch. It'll give you that oversized sweater feel. And that's cotton lycra. If you are using, let's say, a French terry, you can always use the cotton lycra for your bands, as well as if you're using, let's say, a double brushed poly. But I'll talk about those in just a minute. All right, let's see what my next fabric is. I'll go ahead and do the double brushed poly. next. So double brushed poly is, if you've ever seen somebody say DBP, this is double brushed poly. This is my camo double brushed poly. It has great stretch. I have heard that this is the fabric that the Lululemon or whatever that leggings company is uses for their leggings. It has awesome stretch. I mean, just a lot of stretch. This is the vertical stretch. I'm sorry, the horizontal. Like that with left and right. And this is a little bit less of the vertical stretch. If you remember the picture or the video I did the other day of my ivory dot floral, the one that I made the thumbhole cuffs and the fold over cowl, that was made with double brushed poly. I did size down on that one because double brushed poly is thinner and it has great drape. I just didn't want it to be loose on me. You want it to be a little bit more fitted if that's what you want. I mean, I did, and I would suggest sizing down if you're going to use, let's say, a double brushed poly or anything with a lot of stretch to it. Your French terries don't usually have that much stretch to them. I mean, they do, but not as much as a double brushed poly. I'll show you French terry in just a minute. But this you'll want to size down if you do want to keep that more, you know, if you don't want it to be too oversized. I guess that's the right word I'm looking for. Sorry, I didn't really plan out what I was going to say. I just kind of grabbed my fabrics because I wanted to show you all the stretchies. All right, so that's double brushed poly. I'll grab some French terry right here. Now, French terry is one of the fabrics that there is going to be, just because something works with one French terry does not mean it's going to work with all French terry. This is some French terry that I just recently got in a bundle from So So English. This one has really good stretch. I would probably make an entire hoodie or cowl, whatever, with this fabric. This is probably enough stretch to do your bands as well as the main part of your fabric. I find that this one in particular has a lot of drape to it. Like I said, it's more stretchy than any of the other French terries that I've worked with. This one must have a lot more, I don't know, maybe a lot more stretched, I don't know what you would call it, the elasticity. But I will show you in just a second the other French terry that I have. This one is called Baby French Terry. And Baby French Terry, I'm not sure about all Baby French Terry. Like I said, all fabrics end up having, just because they're called something doesn't mean that they are exactly the same. So this is a Baby French Terry. And then, yeah, you can't really see it. But on this one, the loops, instead of being on the wrong side, like normal French terry, the loops are on the outside. The first hoodie that I made was with this one, and I used my size. I fall into a size, it's 2 on the printing guide. I think it was the small that I used this one with. Now this one does have a lot more stretch than most French terries do, in my opinion, but no vertical stretch. Well, almost no. I mean, I am stretching it a little bit. So there is the horizontal stretch, which goes around your body, and here is the vertical stretch that goes up and down. So you can see how those two, they're both called French terry, but they're both different. See, this one has more both ways stretch to it. All right. I have heard people ask about Minky, and I'm going to show you my Minky. I got this custom fabric. I think it's from Notorious, and it has a little bit, well, that's pretty good stretch for horizontal stretch, but it doesn't have any vertical stretch to it. You don't need vertical stretch in this pattern. This has plenty of horizontal stretch. As long as you can move it like this, you're good. So this is Minky. Minky will work as well. This one does not have dots on it, but I think the Minky dot does have enough stretch to it as well. Here is another fabric. This is velvet. Velvet. I bought this at Hobby Lobby yesterday, and it only has vertical stretch. I noticed that it doesn't have much horizontal stretch, but vertical stretch, this is way more stretch than you need, so it'll be good to use for this project. Again, this is velvet. Velvet is really nice, and I plan on making a hoodie with this one during the sew along. So I'll cut my pieces and post that this afternoon. Here is fleece. This is the fleece that I posted in the video yesterday when I went to Hobby Lobby. Let me find a good place to stretch. Fleece has a tiny bit of stretch to it. So fleece, see, it's going to stretch a little bit, and it doesn't have hardly any vertical stretch. But like I said, same thing. This will work as long as it has stretch to it. And this was fleece. Nice, soft fleece. Next is thermal. Thermal has the waffly texture to it. I like thermal. It can go from hot and kind of cool weather. Not hot, I'm sorry, cold to kind of cool weather. So this is the stretch. Again, this is see-through. And almost no vertical stretch, but vertical stretch doesn't really matter in this. You want the stretch to go around your body. I can't wait to make something with this. Probably one of these hoodies. Maybe a cowl with this one since it's a light color. And I got some quilted knit, and I have an entire outfit planned. This is going to be a So Sweet Cinnamon Latte sweater with a hood. It doesn't have as much stretch as the other ones, but it does have a good stretch to it. This is going to be, I will most likely make this a tunic length with the band. I just love this. I'll probably have to band it in something else since it's not quite as stretchy, but this is quilted knit, so if you have any quilted knit, that'll work as well. I also have sweater knit. I don't think I'm going to make one with sweater knit, but I think sweater knit would probably look good with the cowl version. I love this one. It's pink bubblegum. I hope that I can figure out what to make with this. This is so nice. And finally, I'm going to show you one that you probably shouldn't use. This is flannel from Joann's. I got this last year, so this is flannel. And I just wanted to show you, in case you weren't familiar with the stretch of fabrics, flannel doesn't have any stretch to it. This doesn't stretch at all, either way. So flannel, you're not going to want to use this at all for your So Sweet Cinnamon Latte sweater. This, you probably wouldn't be able to get it over your head. You need some stretch. You need way more stretch than this. But if you have flannel that maybe has some stretch to it, I don't know if that even exists, but you just need a little bit of stretch. You would need to be able to pull it just a little bit to make sure that you can get it over your head easily without, tearing it, because that would be unfortunate after you worked so hard. But these were my fabrics. And like I said, I do plan on using probably most of these during the sew along. I did show you guys a few that I just wanted to show what types you could use. I really like double brushed poly. Like I said, my ivory dot floral one is double brushed poly. My floral, the one that I used this fabric for, is Baby French Terry. And like I said, Baby French Terry, I think I'm correct in saying that most of the time the loops are on the right side of the fabric, but I'm not exactly sure. I know that there are so many different types of fabric and so many different types within a type of fabric as well. Like I said, French Terry is one of the ones that you can get with a lot of stretch to it, like the ones that I've shown you today. And I've also come across French Terry that has minimal stretch. But in this pattern, you should still be able to use it as long as it stretches a little bit. You just may want to use something else for your bands and your cuffs. If you're using the cuff, you probably want to use something like a double brushed poly or a cotton lycra. And feel free to mix and match fabric bases as well. I would love to see people use, like a French Terry and something else. Another thing that this pattern is good for, and I've done it in a different pattern, but it's the same concept, is you can use a panel. I don't know if you guys have, I don't know if you're familiar with panels, but fabric panels is where you get pretty much a fat half of fabric, and it has something in the middle, like a drawing or something, a saying. I have one that says, it has a sewing machine and it says, "Sewing is my superpower." I should have grabbed it because I really want to make something with it. I should have grabbed it to show you guys, but that is really good. You just fold it in half and use it as your front. When you cut out your front, you fold it in half, cut it out, and that's your front. You want to make, you want to use something different for your sleeves, but you should be able to get a band at least a front band out of a panel, as well as the front of your garment. Another thing that I have tried, not with this pattern, but in the past, is upcycling. If you find a really cute men's t-shirt from, let's say, Walmart or whatever store you have that you like to shop for graphic tees, I love to take a store-bought men's t-shirt and make it into something for me. I've done it numerous times with numerous different patterns, and I'm hoping to be able to make myself one with this pattern. Maybe not this week, but I'll try to get it, because I really like using a men's t-shirt as the front of a, to make it a women's, just to make it you. I just love it. It gives you uniqueness, because nobody, even if they have that t-shirt, they won't have it exactly like you made it. So, all right, well, I hope you enjoyed my fabrics video. I'm gonna run through one more time and show you just a little bit before I go, just a rundown, because we've got more people coming in and out, and so I'll show you one more time. I've got Minky. Minky will work for this pattern. I showed flannel flannel will not work for this pattern. It doesn't have stretch to it. I have baby French terry. I have thermal knit, velvet. This is so pretty. I love this one so much. Fleece. This is regular French terry. It's got a lot of stretch to it, a lot more stretch than I'm used to for French terry. And quilted knit. This one has a design, a quilted design on it. I also showed sweater knit. This would be very nice with the cowl version or the fold over cowl if you're doing that for the mod. French terry. Oh, I'm sorry, this is double brushed poly. This is not French terry. Double brushed poly. And cotton lycra. So the ones that you want to size down for is anything with a thinner feel to it, like a double brushed poly, or if you feel like you, hi Rebecca, yes, I'm wearing the kimono. If you feel like something is super thin, you might want to size down just so that it's not huge on you. I think Rebecca said that she sized down on a few of hers just to get that, you know, fitted look, more fitted look. So, all right. Thank you, ladies, for joining, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope it was helpful. Like I said, I didn't plan out what I was going to say. I just kind of grabbed fabrics to go through, and thank you.